Hi everyone, I'm Kat and welcome to my channel, Naturally Beautiful Girl. So today I'm going to be kind of doing an overview of the brand Ilia. And even though Ilia is like a really big brand in green and eco beauty, it's carried at Sephora, it's carried at Credo Beauty, it's carried on Petit Four, it's carried at Flame. It's carried at a lot of different green and eco beauty retailers. I surprisingly haven't really heard a lot of bloggers or YouTubers actually talking about their products, and so I kind of started testing them out, and I especially got really fascinated when they released their new True Skin Serum Foundation, and I tried that and I loved it, and then I was like, I need to try out other products. So what I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to be showing you clips of me applying the products. I'm wearing all the products on my face today. Well, as many as I could. I have like multiple lipsticks and I can't wear like 3 lipsticks at the same time, but I'm going to show you me applying the products and I'm going to talk about them, kind of give you my pros and cons. Some of these products I have talked about in other videos. For instance, I have an entire video dedicated to the True Skin Serum Foundation. So I'm going to link the videos where I talk about the products more in depth there, because this is kind of a little bit of an overview, so I can't spend too long talking about any particular product. But if you have any questions, be sure to leave those for me and I will get back to you. But let's just jump right in. So the first product I'm going to talk about is the True Skin Serum Foundation. And I have the shade Formentera. I believe that's how you say it. And this is the lightest shade that they have. It is SF1. And I think it's a pretty good shade match for me. It looks a little bit dark when I first put it on my skin, but as I kind of blend it out, I think it does match my skin tone pretty well. Especially in the summer, I'm okay with using a foundation that's a smidge darker in the summer, even though I don't really get tan or my skin tone doesn't change at all during the summer. I'm okay with my skin looking a little bit warmer. I do like to apply this with a brush. I've really become a big brush fan for applying foundations. I think you can get more coverage out of it. But there are a couple of little notes that I have with this foundation. First of all, you want to make sure you have some sort of moisturizer on your skin, because if your skin is really dry and you try to apply this foundation, I find it can get a little streaky. But as long as I have some sort of moisturizer on, like I use the Osea Blemish Balm every morning, and that way this foundation just kind of glides on and I don't have any streaks. Also, if you try and apply this with a brush that is too dirty, it also will get streaky and you will see brush strokes. So just make sure that you have moisturized skin and a clean brush and you shouldn't have any problems. And this foundation, I really like it because I find that it gives a very natural skin-like finish. It's not too dewy, it's not too matte, it just looks like good, healthy skin. And the coverage isn't super full coverage, but it does give me enough coverage, and it's more full coverage than some other foundations that I have. I don't know, I like the coverage level. For me, it's pretty perfect. So I'd say maybe like a medium-ish coverage. That's about where I would rank this. I do always go in and conceal acne spots, but I really do that with almost every foundation. And this does come in a nice glass packaging with a pump. So I do really like the packaging. Overall, this has been one of my favorite foundations. Like, it has probably moved into my top foundation list. And so I really wear this all the time. It's kind of my go-to foundation. Even though it is more of a natural skin-like finish and not perfectly matte, it wears beautifully on my skin throughout the day. Even during the summer, I still like how it wears. I do get oily, but I'm gonna get oily with any foundation. But what I like about this one is it doesn't break apart on me. And that's my big complaint with a lot of foundations, is throughout the day my skin will get oily and then the foundation will break apart. But this doesn't do that on me. So I really do like this foundation. The next product I'm going to move into talking about is their Summer Essentials Face Palette. And this is a face palette and it comes with 4 different cream face products. And also it has a really nice mirror. So this is a really nice compact. This is the kind of product that I could see being perfect for traveling, especially over the summer, because you've got a bronzer, you've got a highlighter, you've got cream blushes, and during the summer it really does give you a nice glowy look on the cheeks when you use a cream product. I like using cream products all year round. Like, I've kind of become a cream blush like junkie. I don't know how this exactly happened, but I really do enjoy using cream products because they just make your cheeks look so glowy and radiant. So on the back of this container, first of all, they actually list the names of all 4 of the shades, which I find really nice. Some palettes don't actually tell you the names of the shades, but this palette has the names on the back, and so does their eyeshadow palettes. Today I went in with the shade All of Me, and this is like the most beautiful pinky peachy blush. I love this blush. This has probably become my new favorite blush. It's quite sheer, and I don't think it actually picks up that well on camera. I think my lights may wash it out some, but it's just this beautiful peachy pink blush. And for my skin tone, for some reason, this is like perfect. It's not too warm, it's not too cool, like it is just my perfect shade. And then I also went in with the bronzer in the shade Summertime. And this bronzer is nice, but it's not my favorite just because the shade of it is not quite the right shade for me. It's a little bit too reddish, but I have that problem with a lot of bronzers just because of my skin tone. A lot of bronzers can pull very red on me, but I think when I blend it out, it's not too bad, but I prefer some of the other powder bronzers that I have. So I guess I really don't have a cream bronzer in a shade that I love. But this one's not bad, and the formula of all these is pretty sheer, but I like that. Like, it's especially nice for this kind of light, so glowy summer look, and it's easier to not over blush or bronze yourself if the formula is more sheer. I also really like the shade Dreamer over here. This is a blush, but I prefer All of Me a little bit better for my skin tone. And the highlight I used today is the one over here in Cosmic Dancer. I love this highlight. Like, can we talk about that? Like, it is beautiful. They make a highlighter in a lighter shade called Polka Dots and Moonbeams. I can't say that for some reason. And I think that one might actually work a little bit better for me because I am so fair. Like, this one definitely works, but I think a smidge fairer shade would be a little better, a little bit more flattering for my skin tone. But overall, I really like this. My only like drawback about it, first of all, is they only make this palette in this one shade. So if this shade isn't one that's good for your skin tone, then you're kind of stuck. And I think Jamie from 5 Product Face is going to be doing a review on this palette. If she has put it up already, I will link to it because she has a very, very different skin tone than me. So I'd be very interested to see what she has to say about this palette. The only other thing is this was quite expensive. I believe this is like $44, and I got it on sale from the Ilia website, but you don't get a lot of product, and I can definitely see myself hitting pan on this product. But for me, it made sense to purchase this because I'm a beauty YouTuber. I have a lot of makeup products, and I wanted to try out some of their cream products, and this is really a good way to try them out because you get a number of different ones in one product. And like, one of their full-size blushes or highlighters is probably, I think, in the $30 range. So this was good for me to be able to try out all the different products. But if you're the kind of person that just like buys one blush and then chugs through that whole blush, it would make more sense for you to buy a full size of the blush than it would for this palette. But this palette, once again, is very handy for traveling. And I love the formulas of all these products. Like, their cream product formula is excellent. Like, I would definitely, if I hit pan on this palette, I would definitely purchase All of Me in a full size. And I'm also really interested in getting Polka Dot and Moonbeams. Actually, I'm taking a detour to talk about two products I didn't actually demo in this video. The first one is the Ilia Moondance Radiant Translucent Powder. And part of why I got this is it has SPF 20, so it is a translucent powder with zinc oxide, and it does provide sun protection. It's a brush, but then the powder is down here, so you don't have to carry around a brush and like a powder. It's all in one. And the idea behind this is it's really great for being able to touch up and add additional SPF. And I have tried this out and I really do like it. The only thing that's tricky about it is that you can't actually see if you're dispensing the product because the product is translucent and you're just kind of like hoping it's actually coming out of the brush. That was my only concern about it, but otherwise I really like it because you can twist and you can lock the brush so you don't have product coming out, and it actually retracts the brush. So the brush is retracted now because it's closed, but when it opens it goes like this and then the product comes out. And also you can actually remove the brush to clean it, like you can detach it, which I thought was really cool as well. This to me is a perfect summer product because you need to be reapplying SPF, but if you have makeup on, you know, you don't want to mess up your makeup to add more SPF. And so this is the perfect way to do that. And so I'm really happy to have that. And especially this summer, like, this is going to be an excellent product to have. and I have really enjoyed using it so far. I didn't demo that product because I wanted to use my Lima Pure Satin Matte Foundation because I needed a smidge more coverage because I am battling a bit of acne right now. And this product though, I didn't apply, and this is the Ilia Vivid Concealer, and I have the shade C1 Cassava, which is the lightest shade of the concealer. And I didn't apply this today because I have places to go, people to see, and I don't have time for a bad concealer day. And this only gives me a bad concealer day. Like, ugh. Definitely pass on this. And I think I can demo to you on my hand why this is such a problem for me. Okay, first off, here it is squirted out. The shade is a little dark for me, but not bad. One of my main issues with concealers is they're either too dark in the lightest shade or they're completely pink. And this one is a little dark, but at least it's not pink. That really just irritates me. So here it is blended out on my hand. And here's what happens though. When I start trying to like blend it out on my face, I don't really end up with a lot of coverage. Like, okay, you can see like a little bit of coverage there, but it really isn't much. And then I find that when I try and build up more coverage, what happens is when I add more concealer on top, it then pulls the concealer I had applied off. And so then I get patches, and then I'm trying to fix the patches, but as I add more concealer, it's then pulling more off. And it's just this bad cycle. And it doesn't work well to cover acne spots at all. Like, I literally cannot get it to stick to my face when I have an acne spot, whereas my Hint Beauty Duet Concealer just sticks on, has amazing coverage, is awesome. This one just like doesn't have a lot of coverage. It doesn't want to stick. If I try and build it up, it takes more off. And then the shade, you can see where the shade is on my hand. Like, it's not quite the right shade for me, even though this is the lightest shade that this concealer comes in. I do really like the dispensing of it. I really do like the packaging. Like, I like that it's a squeezy tube like this. I feel like it's very sanitary. It's very easy to control the amount that you're getting out, but the product just doesn't work. I've tried it once and it was so bad that I really had to like talk. I was like, Kat, you gotta give it another try before you talk about it. Like, you can't just try it once and then talk about it. You gotta try it again. Yesterday, I was staying at home. I wasn't leaving my apartment. So I was like, okay, this is the perfect time. I'm not going anywhere. I'll put this on. And if it goes terrible, then at least I won't see anyone. And I put it on, and like the exact same problem I had the first time happened, which is couldn't build up any coverage. It was taking more off as I was trying to put more on and all of that. And it doesn't seem to crease that badly, but it also, I feel like, might just be because I can't actually get a product on. Not clear on whether it's actually not very creasy or if I just never end up with any product under my eyes. I know this sounds kind of crazy, but I think it actually gets darker the longer I have it on my skin, because the first time I wore it, it didn't look horrible under my eyes, but as the day went on, it got like darker, like more yellow under my eyes. And so I think this was kind of changing and becoming darker as I was wearing it, which, considering it was kind of dark to start off with, only made the matter worse. So overall, I would say hard pass on this, though I was really fascinated to read on Credo's website. This actually had a lot of positive reviews, and I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for other people, but it just really didn't work for me. And if you are fair, just avoid it. The lightest shade is not light enough. So now I'm going to talk about their eye primer. And Ilia is one of the few brands in green and eco beauty that has an eye primer. There are very few that do, and if you have oily hooded eyelids like I do, eye primer is a must. And this one is kind of interesting. So it has a doe foot applicator, and it looks white, but as you can see when I apply it, it blends out and becomes completely clear. It doesn't actually do any color correcting or anything like that. So I have a number of thoughts about this. First of all, it has a pretty strong smell. That's the first thing you notice when you open it. I don't want to use the C word, but it smells a little chemically. I don't know exactly why, it just does. It has a little bit of a chemically scent. When you put it on your eyes, you have to blend it out really fast because it dries super fast. It dries so much faster than the Lima Pure eye primer or the Silk Natural Stick 'em Eye Primer. Like, this thing, you've got to move fast on it or else you're gonna have like a glob on your eye. Second of all, it doesn't always do this, but sometimes it will, I want to say, almost burn on my eyelids a little bit. I mean, it's not too bad. It's definitely nothing super painful, and it goes away. I think it might have some alcohol in it, and sometimes when the alcohol evaporates, it can kind of create a burning sensation. I know that sounds really bad, but it goes away, and like I don't have any eye irritation from it, and I have super, super sensitive eyelids. Like that's actually why I got into Green and Eco Beauty, was because I developed an allergy to conventional eyeshadows. So I have really sensitive eyelids, and this has not caused like any of that kind of like peeling, flaking, itching, all of that to come back. It's safe. I think it may just kind of burn, tingle a little bit because of alcohol and just because my eyes are sensitive. But like I said, it does go away and then it's fine and then everything's okay. So what I have to say about this, it doesn't intensify eyeshadows as much as the Ilia Pure or Silk Natural Stick 'em Eye Primer. So if you really want to intensify your eyeshadows, kind of give them that more foiled, wet look, this is not the eye primer. But I think that it actually helps reduce the oiliness of my eyelids. I know, sounds crazy, but I feel like my eyes get less oily when I wear this. And it's a bit of a trade-off for me because I really like the intensity that I get from eyeshadows using the Ilia Pure eye primer or the Silk Natural Stick 'em Eye Primer, but I kind of really like the longevity that I get out of this. So I think because it dries down so matte and kind of like a powder, it really does help to prevent my eyelids from getting really oily. I have like mixed thoughts about it. I would take all that into consideration if you were going to purchase it or not. I'm happy that I've gotten it and I'm happy that I'm trying it out. The question is, what do you want your eyeshadow primer for? If you really want to like intensify eyeshadows, then you need to go with the other two. But if you really want to help with oil control and longevity, this one is really quite good. Like I am surprised. I didn't think I would ever quite get that level of oil control in Green and Eco Beauty, but this one does it for me. Now that we've talked about eye primer, it seems appropriate that we talk about their eyeshadow palette. And I have their eyeshadow palette in Prima. And this eyeshadow palette has 4 shades, a nice big mirror. It's in the same setup as the Summer Essentials base palette. Obviously it is a cool toned eye palette. There's one that has like some blues in it, but this one to me was very neutral, which is kind of what I gravitate towards. So that's what I went for. Okay, so I started off by applying this shade over here, which is Rosa Tea. It is a bit shimmery, so it does have some reflect to it. This shade over here, Mocha, does as well. These two up here are completely matte. Rosa Tea is not the most intense shimmery metallic eyeshadow ever. Actually, all these are a little powdery and a little dusty. They definitely have pigment. Probably will see it in the footage that I actually should have knocked my brush off a couple times and I didn't. And so you can actually see some fallout falling on my face. That is what's going on with that. The one thing I really do like about this palette is that it has a matte like cream shade, and this is a shade Jasper. And I use this to help blend shadows in my crease. So I'll lay this down in my crease after I put on my lid shade. And I also used it today as my inner corner highlight because we didn't have a highlighting shade other than that white in this palette. I go in with Moonstone and put that in my crease. That's the crease shade I have on. And then I finally line my eyes with Mocha, which also is a deeper brown but has some shimmer to it. So my thoughts on this palette. Once again, it's a very good travel palette, really has everything you need in it. And so for that reason, it's good. I wish the shadows were not quite as chalky, like a smidge less chalky. I wish that Rosa Tea was a little bit more intense in kind of being more metallic. Though, as a note, I did put it on top of the Ilia eye primer, and when I put it on top of the Ilia Pure or Silk Naturals eye primer, it is more intense. Part of how the eyeshadows look is because I use the Ilia eye primer. My thoughts on it though, is it the best eyeshadow I've ever used? No. It's not the Herrera Perez palette. It's not the same quality as a Mother Bear's handmade eyeshadow. Is it the worst palette I've ever used? Definitely not. Definitely have used worse. I would rank this higher than my Lily Lolo, for instance. I really just do not like that palette. So it's kind of a middle of the road palette. Also, it is cool tone, so you have to be a cool toned eyeshadow lover to really get good use out of this palette. But if you aren't super picky about your eyeshadows, or you just want an eyeshadow palette that's very easy to use, you can kind of get like 1 or 2 looks out of it and just have it be I don't know, just like a very easy to use traveling palette, one that you can throw in your bag really easily. This is nice. Like I said, it's not the best, but it's not the worst. So I just say middle of the road on this eyeshadow palette. I have their mascara, and this is the Pure mascara. They've come out with a new one. This is not the new one. This is their old mascara. I'd heard kind of mixed things about this one, but I was like, you know what? I will try it out for myself. I like some mascaras that other people don't like. Like, I feel like the Well People Expressionist mascara just doesn't get enough love from everyone, and that's like one of my favorite mascaras. And this one has a silicone wand, which I love silicone wands. So I was like, all right, here we go. So can you see how like the top of the wand is like, has very tall spikes on it, and the other side has like shorter spikes? At first I didn't realize that when I was using it, and so I tried to just kind of use it any which way. But then I realized it was kind of like the Pacifica mascara that has the wand that like changes and becomes longer and shorter. So I was like, okay, if I think about the way I use that one, I should use this one the same way. So I took the longer side and like brushed through my eyelashes to give them more length, and then I'll use the kind of shorter bristled side to give it more volume. Here's the thing, that side with the really long bristles is like, those bristles are really pokey. I'd always thought that people that were like, oh, I poked this mascara like wand pokes my eye and it really hurts. And I thought they were being really over dramatic until I encountered this mascara wand, and I was like, ouch. I know what they mean. Maybe it's some user error, but this one is the only mascara I've ever used where I've like, it actually hurts. Like if you poke yourself like right along your lash line or anything like that, like this does hurt, because that side with the long spikes is really spiky. I like it better now that it's dried out, but it is just not at all that good of a mascara, especially considering the one side of the wand is actually a little painful. There's so many other mascaras, like the Well People Expressionist mascara does what I had hoped that this one would do. Like I would hard pass on this mascara, just not good. I mean, it is pretty waterproof on me, it doesn't run, all that good stuff, but it just doesn't do much. Like I have it on, I don't think you can tell that much of a difference before I put on mascara versus after I put on mascara. I've heard really good things about the new Ilia mascara, but I have not tried it out yet. I have a whole bunch of mascaras in my collection that I need to go through. There's only one of me and I have a lot of mascaras, but I think eventually I will try that out because I've heard so many people that didn't like this one like that one. For instance, Jenna Catherine didn't like this one, but she likes the new one. So I definitely will be trying it out eventually. So if you are interested in getting an Ilia mascara, I have not tried that one, but I would recommend trying that one over this one. Just pass on this one. So the last thing I'm going to talk about are some of their lip products. I have one of their lip crayons, one of their lipsticks, and one of their like lip tints. I think that's what they're called. They're more sheer lip formula. And I put on today the lip crayon in Dress You Up. Love this, love the lip crayon formula, love the color, love everything about it. I feel like a broken record about this. And also it twists up too, so you don't have to sharpen it. It's just like the best of all worlds in this. And it's pretty long wearing, it's very comfortable. I can't say enough good things about the lip crayon. The lipstick and the lip tint are not my favorite formulas. I have the lipstick in Funnel of Love, which is this peachy color. This color is beautiful. Like, even though the formula is not my favorite, it is worth getting this lipstick for the color because I've not found another color like this. And it's one of the few shades like that that is actually flattering on my skin tone because I am so fair. If I try and wear orangier lipsticks, it can go south very quickly. I have the lip tint, like a little sample of it in Arabian Nights. It's really cute. I like it, but just not overall. These two are just not my favorite formula. I prefer the formula of Dress You Up, but they're nice. And the color of Funnel of Love is really, really great. I feel very talked out now. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I thought it'd be helpful if I shared my thoughts on the Ilia products I've tried. Obviously, I've not tried everything from Ilia because they have a really extensive line, which is awesome. I mean, you can find almost anything from Ilia. But I hope this kind of gave you a feel for the brand and what are some of my favorite products and what are some of my... Actually, let me do that. Let me give you a rundown. Some of my favorite products are definitely the foundation, the lip crayon, specifically in the shade Dress You Up. I also really love the Summer Essentials face palette, and I also really like the Moon Dance translucent powder. I'd say those are kind of my favorites. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also check out my Instagram. I'll have my handle down below. I'm at naturallybeautifulgirl, And once again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!